It was a big mistake for me, but however, we can take it as positively. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Bante.
Yes, Bante.
Is it enough? The size?
Yes, yes, side
Because
is okay. Size is
I joined with my phone.
Hmm.
My laptop is very old one.
Hmm.
There is a technical error with my laptop. Therefore, I cannot connect with laptop. Therefore, I hope to join with my phone as a device.
No problem.
Okay. Because these days, in Sri Lanka, these devices are very expensive. I hope to buy a laptop, but I have to still few days or few months to reduce prices.
Oh.
Okay, you all are welcome to today's lecture. Okay, this is our paper, Buddhist culture in South Asia. This is our today topic. Actually, these days we are discussing about Sri Lankan Buddhist culture. Okay, and how to Buddhism came to Sri Lanka and how it established in Sri Lanka and how spread and how developed. All these information we were discussing now. Today topic is it is related to Sri Lankan Buddhist culture, the spread of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Did you all get the note?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Bante.
Yes, Bante.
Yes. Actually, earlier previous lessons we discussed arrival of Maha Mahinda Thera and how did he establish Buddhism in Sri Lanka and what did he do to establish Buddhism in Sri Lanka. I think you remember he focused the royal family or the king, and first he focused the king and he preached the Dhamma to the king, and then he preached the Dhamma to other uh, peoples or other persons. Today we have to discuss the spread of Buddhism in Sri Lanka to other areas. Actually, at that time, the Anuradhapura was the capital in Sri Lanka. I think you can, there is a picture. Can you see? This
Yes,
is
I can see
the
another.
district of
Yes.
Anuradhapura. This is Anuradhapura. This area was the capital at that time, Sri Lanka. Venerable Mahinda Thera came to this place. Actually, the places that we discussed, all the religious places were in Anuradhapura. Previous lesson we discussed Mihintale and Mahavihara area. All these things were in Anuradhapura district. Okay. The first step to spread the Buddhism to the regions far away from the capital city of Anuradhapura was initiated by King Devanampiyatissa himself. Then King Devanampiyatissa, who was the king in Sri Lanka when arrival of Mahamahinda Thera. Actually, this king, he was a very brave king and very intelligent king, and he did his duty well. Okay, there is a no error, and we don't have get any mistake by him, because he did his duty well, to spread Buddhism in Anuradhapura area and the other areas of Sri Lanka. Then King Uttiya, the king name is Uttiya, who was the king after the death of King Devanampiya Tissa. Actually, I mentioned all the details on the note. Please read your note after this lesson, no, to get an idea more about this presentation. The King Uttiya was the king after the Devanampiya. This also mentioned the spread of Buddhism that had been passed down from his brother in the same way. Actually, King Uttiya, he was a brother of King Devanampiya. This he also did his duty. A year after Mahinda Thero's parinirvana passed away, Sangamitta Rahat Mehini, or nun, who was 71 years old, also passed away in Hattalaka Mehinavara in Anuradhapura. I mentioned it in your note. Actually, King Uttiya's period, he was a very good king and Buddhist king. He also did his duty. At that time, Mahamahinda Thero, he passed away. Then after 1 year, Sangamitta Theri, the sister of Mahamahinda Thera, she also was passed away. Actually, at that time, he was in Hattalaka Mehenavara. I think in the last lesson we discussed about Hattalaka Mehenavara. It is a nun temple. Okay, it is a nun temple. She was at that temple, Hattalaka Mehenavara. Mehena mean in Pali nun. Okay, Mehena, Meheni, Mehena mean nun. Mehenavara mean nuns temple. Mehenavara mean nuns temple. Okay. Actually, King Uttiya also did his duty to spread Buddhism. I mentioned it on your note. Then King Mahasiva became the king after the King Uttiya. Okay. Actually, we have to discuss about the kings of Sri Lanka, because most of kings, they did their duty to spread Buddhism. Therefore, I mentioned the kings' names also. King Mahasiva, he also a Buddhist king, and after King Uttiya, King Mahasiva became a king. After this, King Suratissa. Can you spell Suratissa?
Suratissa.
Yes, Suratissa. Who became king, also built many monasteries in different parts of Sri Lanka. After that, King Suratissa, he also did his duty as a Buddhist monk. Uh, now we can understand King Devanampiya Tissa, he established Buddhism in Sri Lanka well. Therefore, the other kings, after the death of King Devanampiya Tissa, the other kings, they also wanted to play their role, okay, as a Buddhist king. Therefore, they continued the previous king's duty. Okay, they continued the previous king's duty. King Surat is also as a same as a king, he did his duty same as previous kings. And he built many monasteries in different parts of Sri Lanka, different areas in Sri Lanka. Okay. Then King Asela only got to region for 10 years. Then the king Asela, he became a king, and King Asela actually he is a very good king, but he is not a brave king. He is not brave. Uh, we'll discuss why did I say like that. He did his kingship, or he was a king as 10 years. Okay, only 10 years he was a king, because a Dravidian invader named Elara came to and killed him and took over the government and regained for 44 years. Can you imagine? South Indian invader, Dravidian invader, came to Sri Lanka. The name is Elara. He killed King Asela, and he got the kingship in Sri Lanka. Therefore, we can understand King Asela is a very weak king. He is very weak, and he is not a brave king. Then King Elara, he did in his kingship 44 years. Actually, now we can understand, if there was a Tamil king in Sri Lanka, he never agreed to develop or spread Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Can you understand?
Yes.
He definitely he wanted, maybe he wanted to try spread his own religion. Okay, therefore we can understand in this period, 44 years, in this period there were some collection of Buddhism, or spread of Buddhism. Okay, uh, Buddhism spread very slowly, because 44 years. The two Sena and Guttika are said to be holy Dravidians, and according to the Mahavansa Tika, it is a sub-commentary. Mahavansa Tika, it is a sub-commentary. Then Sena and Guttika, they also Dravidians or Tamil. Sena and Guttika, they also Tamil, and Mahavansha Tika said that they were use holy water. Today we discuss about holy day. I think maybe related to this religion activity. I don't know is it correct or wrong. Maybe they the holy water mean they enter the river and they wash their body. Okay, they thought there are some sin or bad deeds can wash by the water. Okay, can be washed by the water, they thought. Therefore some Brahmins or other religious also, they enter the rivers and they wash their body with water, and they try to wash their unwholesome or their bad deeds or their sins. And someone says King Elara, he wanted to rule the government as a Buddhist king. It means he wanted to show he is a Buddhist king. But under his mind, definitely he is not a Sinhala and Buddhist. Therefore, do you remember we discussed about King Ashoka? He also spread Buddhism to control the areas, okay, without any war. As like this, King Elara, he also tried to get some Buddhist activities. Maybe he did some Buddhist activities to show the people, I am a Buddhist king. But some sources said definitely he was a Tamil king and he never tried to spread Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Okay. But during the era of King Devanampiya, it is clear that Buddhism continued to grow due to the measures taken by the king regarding the spread of Buddhism in areas outside of Anuradhapura. We can understand after the during the era of King Devanampiya, actually the far areas from Anuradhapura, King Devanampiya, he got some decisions, okay, to spread Buddhism. Therefore, the other areas, they are gradually spread Buddhism. Okay, other areas, Buddhism gradually developed with the decision of King Devanampiya. It is clear from the ancient temple located in Vaunia, Jaffna, and Mullatiu. Vaunia. Can you see?
Yes, Vaunia.
Yes.
Vaunia, Mullatiu.
Mm.
Okay. Jaffna, top of the Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Is it clear, this map?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Jaffna, then the green color map, Mullatiu. Downside the Mullatiu, Vaunia. Okay. This area. Mullatiu direction. Okay. It is seen that the place such as Periya Puliyan Kulama, Niraviya, Maha Kachapodiya, then Kurandan, sorry, Kuranda Malay. Malay mean the Tamil words Malay is mountain, na? Malay. Kuranda Malay, etc. have stone inscription. Some inscription dating back to the early period, which were the resident of the monks in early period. Those areas Periya Puliyankulama, Niraviya, Mahakachakodiya, Kurandamale, those areas, in those areas we can found some inscriptions. Okay, those inscription mention there were some monks and there were some residents of the monks, residence place of the monk. Therefore, we can understand this is Anuradhapura area, and the Buddhism had spread to those area in north side in Sri Lanka. Okay, did you get the point? What I say?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now the king is in Anuradhapura, and the kingdom is also Anuradhapura, and capital is Anuradhapura. But Buddhism had spread to other areas, to north side in Sri Lanka. Okay. We mentioned about that during the Bodhi planting festival, the Shastriya from Kacharagama and Chandanagama in Rohana took the Bodhi shoots and planted them in those two colonies. Do you remember we discussed last week about the Bodhi planting festival? Then they, the other areas leaders, came to Anuradhapura, and they brought Bodhi plants to their areas. Okay, and they planted the Bodhi plants in their areas. Okay. In the meantime, King Mahanaga, Yuvaraja, hair appearance, who was a Kanitu. Kanitu means elder brother of King Devanampiya Tissa, who went to Rohana, became the leader of Magama and embraced Buddhism, and then Magama became the center of Buddhist activities in Rohana. Magama. Okay. This is a Ruhunu Rata. Okay. This is a map. Early in Sri Lanka, there was only 3 areas. Okay. First one is Pihiti Rata. Second one is Ruhunu Rata. Third one is Maya Rata. But can you see another small area?
Candy.
Another little color. Malaya Rata. Malaya mean mountain area. Okay. Central
Duvara
of
area.
sorry.
Duvara area.
Yes, yes. Have you visited?
Yes, I've been to almost all areas in Sri Lanka.
That's very good. Including Nuwara, Kandy, okay, Kandy, Nuwara, all these area Malaya Rata in mountain areas. Okay, but now we are discussing this area, Ruhuna area, Rohana. Okay, Ruhuna area, Ruhunu Rata. Okay. One of elder brother of King Devanampiya Tissa, he went to Rohana area. Rohana mean Ruhuna area. Okay. He went to this area and he became a Buddhist, and he did some Buddhist activities in this area. Did you get the point?
Yes.
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 Therefore, the scholar says the Buddhism not only spread to north side in Sri Lanka, but also south side in Sri Lanka. Okay, someone went to north side to spread Buddhism, and someone went down side. Okay, then it is mentioned that the Lalata Dhatu Vansa. Actually, this is also a chronicle. Lalata Dhatu Vansa. It is a chronicle in Sri Lanka. That at this time the Lalata relic of Lord Buddha. Lalata relic. What is Lalata?
Head.
I have heard the forehead of
Yeah.
Buddha. Forehead. Lalata. Forehead of Buddha were in the custody of a nobleman named Mahakala in the Hattota colony of Rohana. This Lalata Dhatu once chronicle, it mentioned there were Buddha's relic, forehead relic were in Rohana area. It appears that the young king Mahanaga got this relic and performed sacrifice. Sacrifice mean he did some puja. Okay, some pujas for this relic. Actually, this photo is not for forehead relic.
Okay.
I want to show you some relics.
Mm.
Have you seen some relics?
Only in videos.
Video only.
Yes.
In Sri Lanka, there are many relics, but we cannot see every time.
Mm.
Okay. After the king Mahanaga, his son Yatala Tissa. Now we are discussing about Rohan area, downside in Sri Lanka. It's been western side. Who came to the throne as young king, also did a great service for the spread of Buddhism. The Mahanaga's son, Yatala Tissa. Uh, uh, I mention those details more than presentation on your note. Please read 2 or 3 times your note.
Okay.
Okay. He also, King Yatalatissa, he also did his duty. It seems that King Gotabaya, have you heard this name? Gotabaya? Sri Lankan previous president also was Gotabaya. Not a king, he's a president. He was a president. But he left. Okay. It seems that King Gotabaya, who is mentioned in the family stories as the son of King Yatala Tissa. Then the king Yatala Tissa's son, sorry, yes, Yatala Tissa's son, King Gotabaya, killed 10 kings and built 1,000 temples bank of the river. There is a famous river in Rohana area. Some scholar says King Gotabaya, who is the Yatalatissa, who is the son of Yatalatissa, he killed 10 kings. Maybe he killed his own brother or some kingsman, maybe. And he built 1,000 temples. Actually, he wanted to purify his bad deeds. Therefore, he built 1,000 temples. The scholar says, bank rivers, banks of river. His son, King Kavantissa. Now the Gotabaya's son is King Kavantissa, was a great patron of Buddhism. King Kavantissa, he was a great king in Sri Lanka. Actually, he had a very uh, good intelligence. Okay, his memory and his ideas also we can imagine. We cannot imagine. Okay, his everything. Okay, he was a very good king in Sri Lanka. Actually, he also was a Buddhist king. He took the relic of Lalata mentioned above in great person and enshrined them in Seruavila pagoda. Seruavila Chetiya. Chetiya mean pagoda. This is a real picture of Seruavila. Okay. It is near to Anuradhapura area. Not near, little bit near. This is modern Seruavila pagoda. Then, among his outstanding work were the construction of Magamatissa Mahavihara and Situlpauva Vihara. Magamatissa Vihara, actually I did not add the picture of Magamatissa Vihara. This is a Situlpauva temple. Can you see? It's not clear picture. It is a rock temple.
Okay.
Okay. It's a very highest temple, one of highest temple in Sri Lanka. We have to climb this mountain, Oak Mountain. Okay. And this it is a very beautiful area, Sri Lanka. When you visit Sri Lanka, definitely you have to see.
Okay.
And you have to visit. Okay. And King Kavantissa, he built those temples. This is located in south area in Sri Lanka. Okay. The Mahasangha monks has participated in all wedding rituals, naming, feeding, rice. Actually, in Sri Lanka, there were many wedding rituals. Okay, after born a new baby, first time feeding. So normally 6 months only giving milk. No, okay. After 6 months, they feed the baby other foods. Actually, in Sri Lanka, it is also a festival. Not a festival, actually, a ritual, wedding ritual, and naming. Someone after born a baby, they want to give a name to the baby, but it is also a like a wedding ritual. Okay, in Sri Lanka. The son of King Kavantissa, Duttagamini Abaya and Saddha Tissa. Actually, King Kavantissa had two sons. One of Duttagamini Abaya, second one Saddha Tissa. Okay. After the death of father, the conflicts between these two were resolved without going too far with intervention of the Mahasangha. Actually, after the death of King Kavantissa, the two sons, they were going to fight to the kingship. They at that time, Mahasangha or Buddhist monks, they involved to the problem and they resolved this problem. Okay. Therefore, we can understand now the in Sri Lanka, Buddhism and government both there is a combination. Okay, Vihara Mahadevi is the queen of King Kavantissa, also acted with great devotion to Sasana or order. Actually, she also a very good queen, uh, Buddhist queen. She also did his duty well as a queen to the Sasana or order to spread Buddhism and to protect Buddhist temples and Buddhist monks. Okay, she had offered many dana or alms to the Mahasangharatna or Mahasangha. It is also evident from Nastavashis, ruins, inscription, uh, genealogical stories, and Attakatha books. Attakatha mean commentaries. Commentaries. That there were many temples in Rohana during this era where thousands of monks lived in and worked. Some evidence says say there were Rohan area, south side in Sri Lanka. There were many monks, thousands of monks were those area and many temples in south side of Sri Lanka. By this time, Buddhism had spread to a larger extent in the western part of Ceylon, which belonged to the area known as Maya Rata. We discuss about Maya Rata. So, okay, this area. Okay, this area. Now we discuss north side and south side and those area, and now we are going to discuss Maya Rata, western area. Okay. Western western part of Ceylon, which belong to Maya Rata, as well as in Malaya. Malaya I showed you, which belong to the central mountains. We saw on the map a group of royal known as Kalani royal family. There was another royal family named as Kalani royal family. I have lived in this place. It is mentioned in Mahavansa Tika. Mahavansa Tika means Mahavansa sub-commentary. That they were related to King Devanampiya Tissa. They were related with King Devanampiya Tissa. Actually, these are Maya Rata. Can you see the Kalaniya?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a Kalani. This is a Kalani river. Okay. It is a river. This area, the Kalani River, it's a very famous river in Sri Lanka. Okay. The Kalani area based with Kalani River. Actually, Colombo, we also near to this place. Okay, Colombo, Kalani, very near areas. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the Buddhism spread to western area in Sri Lanka. Okay, Maya Rata based on Kalani. Okay. Actually, there were royal family in Kalaniya. They also did this duty. Actually, I mentioned in on your note some areas and some temples. Then, in this way, it is clear how Buddhism is spread in different parts of the island in the far north as well as in the far south, in the east as well as in the west, and in the highly areas, mean mountain areas of the island during the 2 centuries that passed after the era of Devanampiya Tissa. Actually, those details which we discussed were happened between 2 centuries. Okay, during 2 centuries after the death of King Devanampiya Tissa. Okay, this is the spread of Buddhism in Sri Lanka after the arrival of Mahamahinda Thera. Actually, last week we discussed arrival of Mahamahinda Thera and King Devanampiya Tissa, how did his duty, and today we discussed the spread of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. We have another 2 topic with Sri Lankan Buddhist culture. The next one is development of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Mean another other kings, how did they their duty, and the Buddhist culture, the development, literature, and other cultural things, how develop with Buddhism. Okay, I think we have discussed only these details with this topic. I added more detail on your note. Please read 2 or 3 times the notes, and don't worry, I didn't give any question or sample question because I want to study with the past paper. I got a past paper, and I will study the past paper, and I will make some questions. Okay, because this is this paper I teach first time. Okay, therefore I have to study well as a teacher.
Okay.
Are there any question like this baby?
No question.
I am very sorry. Last week presentation I didn't send you. Actually, I wanted to convert it to a PDF. Today I did it. I got my friend's laptop and I did my studies. Therefore, I did it today, and today I will send this presentation and last week presentation.
Okay.
Okay, then next week, Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay, definitely. I will.
Thursday.
Sorry.
Thursday.
Thursday. Thursday.
Yes.
What happened to my mind? Today's Thursday. And single medium class also, they have Friday. Okay, now I can remember. Are there any question?
No, Venerable.
No. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, this is your country, Hiroko and Memoro
Yes.
Sato.
Yes.
It's a nice picture. We also love your country as well as our country. Okay, thank you very much for participating today lecture. We'll meet next Thursday.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Bhante.
much, Bante.
Okay.